Number 11, 1992, Porsche 968 Convertible. Back in the early 1990s, the sports car world was obsessed with bigger engines and more cylinders. Porsche decided to take a different path. Instead of chasing raw horsepower numbers, the 1992 Porsche 968 Convertible focused on something that never goes out of style: the driving experience. Under the hood was a 3.0-liter inline-4 producing around 236 horsepower. That might not sound extraordinary today, but at the time, it was one of the largest four-cylinder engines ever fitted to a production car. Porsche wasn't trying to win on paper. They were building a car that felt special every time you got behind the wheel. Even today, the 968 Convertible looks incredibly clean. Drop the top, and its long hood and compact rear end create a timeless sports car silhouette. Every angle reflects Porsche's elegant and understated design philosophy from the 1990s. But the real magic happens when you start driving. The balanced chassis, sharp steering, and driver-focused cockpit make the car feel far quicker than the numbers suggest. It responds to every input with confidence and precision. The sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour took about 6.5 seconds, which was seriously respectable for a convertible sports car in 1992. More than 3 decades later, the 968 Convertible remains one of the best examples of Porsche's belief that great driving is about balance, not just power. Number 10, 1990 Chevrolet Corvette C4 Convertible. The Corvette name has always been associated with speed in America, but the 1990 Corvette C4 Convertible represented something even bigger. It marked Corvette's evolution into a truly modern performance car. Power came from a 5.7-liter L98 V8 producing around 245 horsepower. While those numbers may seem modest by today's standards, the engine delivered strong low-end torque and that unmistakable American V8 character that Corvette fans have always loved. Visually, the C4 looked like it came straight from the future. Its low nose, pop-up headlights, and wide stance made it one of the most recognizable sports cars on the road. And with the top down, it looked even better. Cruising along a coastal highway in a C4 Convertible is the kind of experience that explains why the Corvette became part of the American dream. It wasn't just transportation, it was an event. Inside, the digital dashboard was one of the coolest features of the era. In 1990, those futuristic displays made the car feel like something out of a sci-fi movie. The C4 Convertible could reach 60 miles per hour in about 6.1 seconds, putting it right alongside many European sports cars of the time. It may not have been the most refined machine on the road, but few cars could put a smile on your face quite like a Corvette with the top down. Number 9, 1990 Mercedes-Benz SL 500. Some cars are built for speed, others are built for luxury. The 1990 Mercedes-Benz SL 500 was one of the rare cars that managed to deliver both. When the R129 generation debuted, people weren't just impressed by its performance, they were amazed by its technology. Under the hood sat a 5.0-liter V8, producing around 322 horsepower, giving this luxury roadster plenty of muscle to back up its elegant appearance. And speaking of appearance, the SL500 has aged incredibly well. The clean body lines, long hood, and perfectly balanced proportions still look modern more than 3 decades later. Features like the automatically deploying roll bar were cutting-edge technology at the time and helped make the SL feel years ahead of its competition. Unlike many sports cars, the SL500 wasn't designed to attack every corner. It was built to effortlessly devour highway miles in comfort and style. Yet whenever you press the accelerator, it could surprise you with just how quickly it gathered speed. Reaching 60 miles per hour in about 5.9 seconds, the SL500 was capable of outrunning plenty of dedicated sports cars from the same era. The most impressive part though was how easy it made everything feel. This wasn't a car that needed to shout about its performance. The R129 SL500 was more like a gentleman in a tailored suit. Quiet, confident, and effortlessly powerful. Number 8, 1996 Ford Mustang Cobra Convertible. By the mid-1990s, the Mustang was evolving for a new generation of performance enthusiasts. But whenever the Cobra badge appeared, everyone knew this wasn't just another Mustang. Cobra models had always represented the best Ford performance had to offer. At the heart of the 1996 Mustang Cobra Convertible was a special 4.6-liter DOHC V8 developed by Ford's SVT division. Producing around 305 horsepower, this engine loved to rev rev and delivered a completely different personality compared to the older pushrod Mustang V8S. Visually, the Cobra struck a perfect balance. It looked aggressive without trying too hard. Unique wheels, Cobra badging, and a lower, more purposeful stance made it stand out from a standard Mustang. And with the top down, the sound of that V8 became an even bigger part of the experience. What really made this car special was the way it felt from behind the wheel. Every stab of the throttle reminded you that all that power was being sent to the rear tires. The steering provided genuine feedback, and as the revs climbed, the engine rewarded you with an unforgettable soundtrack. With a 0 to 60 time of around 5.5 seconds, the Cobra Convertible earned its place among the performance cars of the era. More than just a Mustang, it was one of the best open-top expressions of Ford's performance heritage. Number 7. 1995 Mitsubishi 3000 GT-VR-4 Spider. The 1990s were an incredible time for Japanese performance cars. Manufacturers were locked in a technology arms race, constantly trying to outdo one another. And one of the most fascinating creations to emerge from that era was the Mitsubishi 3000 GT-VR-4 Spider. This wasn't just a fast convertible. It was a rolling showcase of cutting-edge engineering. Under the hood sat a twin turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 producing around 320 horsepower, paired with an advanced all-wheel drive system that delivered impressive grip in almost any condition. But the real story was the technology. Active aerodynamics, four-wheel steering, and electronically controlled suspension were features that many exotic supercars didn't even offer at the time. The Spider version took all of that technology and added a fully retractable hardtop. The result was a heavier car, sure, but also one of the most unique convertibles money could buy in the 1990s. It could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 5.4 seconds, but numbers only tell part of the story. The 3000 GT-VR-4 Spider felt like a glimpse into the future. Mitsubishi wasn't simply building a sports car, they were trying to show the world what the next generation of performance vehicles could become. Number 6. 1998 BMW Z3M Roadster. Sometimes the most memorable cars aren't the most powerful ones. Sometimes it's the character, the sound, and the way they make you feel behind the wheel. That's exactly what made the BMW Z3M Roadster so special. The standard Z3 was already a popular roadster, but when BMW's legendary M division got involved, the car became something entirely different. Under the hood sat a naturally aspirated 3.2-liter inline-six, producing around 240 horsepower, sending all of its power to the rear wheels. Thanks to its short wheelbase and compact dimensions, the Z3M Roadster felt incredibly nimble. It demanded respect in the corners, but when driven well, it rewarded the driver with one of the most engaging experiences of its era. Its design was equally memorable. The long hood, short rear deck, and muscular fenders gave it the proportions of a classic British roadster, while BMW's engineering added a modern performance edge. A 0 to 60 time of around 5.3 seconds was certainly impressive, but that's not why enthusiasts still talk about this car today. The real magic happened on a winding road with the top down, listening to that legendary inline-6 sing its way toward redline. Moments like that are exactly why the Z3M Roadster has become a true modern classic. Number 5. 1998 Jaguar XKR Convertible. By the late 1990s, Jaguar had built a reputation for luxury and elegance, but many enthusiasts no longer viewed the brand as a serious performance player. Then the XKR arrived and reminded everyone that Jaguar still knew how to build a truly fast car. At first glance, the XKR looked calm and sophisticated. The long hood, flowing body lines, and classic Jaguar proportions gave it a timeless appearance. But hidden beneath that elegant exterior was something far more exciting, a supercharged 4.0-liter V8 producing around 370 horsepower. The moment you pressed the throttle, you could hear the distinctive whine of the supercharger before the car surged forward. Yet unlike many performance cars of the era, the XKR never felt aggressive or unruly. That was its magic. It was quick without being frantic, powerful without being intimidating. With the top down, the experience became even better. The sound of the V8 filled the cabin while the smooth ride reminded you that this was still a true Grand Tourer at heart. A 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 5.2 seconds put the XKR right alongside many respected German and Italian performance cars of the day. But what made it special wasn't just the speed, it was the way it combined that performance with rich leather seats, beautiful beautiful wood trim and effortless style. The Jaguar XKR convertible remains one of the finest examples of British luxury and performance coming together in one unforgettable package. Number 4. 1998 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 convertible. Some performance cars try to hide their power. The 1998 Camaro Z28 convertible wasn't one of them. Even from a distance, this car looked fast. The 1998 model year was a huge moment for Camaro because it introduced GM's legendary LS1 V8. This 5.7-liter engine produced around 305 horsepower and delivered stronger performance while being more refined than the generation before it. And with the top down, that LS1 became the star of the show. Every press of the throttle filled the cabin with that unmistakable American V8 soundtrack. Push a little harder and the rear tires were more than happy to remind you exactly how much power was being sent their way. The design perfectly captured the spirit of a late 90s American muscle car. The long hood, broad shoulders, and low stance gave it an aggressive presence that stood out everywhere it went. Camaro never tried to be as elegant as European sports cars. Its mission was simple: look powerful, sound powerful, and feel powerful. With a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of roughly 5.2 seconds, the Z28 convertible delivered performance that rivaled much more expensive cars of its era. It offered real V8 muscle at a price many enthusiasts could actually afford. Even today, many fans consider the LS1 powered Camaros some of the greatest performance bargains ever built. Number 3. 1999 Mercedes-Benz SL73 AMG. Up to this point, we've seen some seriously impressive performance cars, but now we're entering a completely different league. The Mercedes-Benz SL73 AMG wasn't just rare, it was one of the most exclusive and outrageous vehicles AMG ever created. Built before AMG became fully integrated into Mercedes-Benz, the SL73 represented one of the company's wildest projects. Under the hood sat a massive 7.3-liter naturally aspirated V12, producing around 525 horsepower, a number that rivaled many supercars of the era. And here's the really cool part: this engine would later serve as the foundation for the legendary V12 used in the Pagani Zonda. In other words, a piece of supercar history was hiding beneath the hood of this luxury roadster. What made the SL73 even more fascinating was how understated it looked. To most people, it appeared to be just another elegant Mercedes SL. There were no giant wings, no flashy graphics, and nothing screaming for attention. But the moment you buried the throttle, everything changed. The V12 delivered effortless acceleration, launching this luxury convertible from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds. An astonishing figure for 1999, and somehow it managed to do it while maintaining the comfort, refinement, and confidence Mercedes was famous for. Today, the SL73 AMG is more than just a fast convertible. It's one of the most desirable and collectible AMG models ever built, representing a time when Mercedes engineers were willing to create something truly extraordinary. Number 2. 1995 Ferrari F355 Spider. When you look at Ferrari's history, there are certain models that become legendary, not just because they were fast, but because of how they made you feel. The F355 Spider is exactly one of those Ferraris. When it launched in 1995, Ferrari was in one of its most beautiful design eras. Penned by Pininfarina, the F355 still looks almost perfect from every angle today. And in Spider form, that design opens up to the sky, turning the whole experience into something far more emotional. Behind the cabin sits a 3.5-liter V8, producing around 375 horsepower. But numbers don't really explain what this engine is about. The real magic starts above 8,000 revolutions per minute. That's where the sound comes alive. A screaming mechanical symphony that many enthusiasts still call one of the greatest Ferrari engine sounds ever made. Drop the top, and that experience becomes even more intense. Every note of the engine flows directly into the cabin, removing any barrier between driver and machine. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds, but calling the F355 Spider just fast misses the point completely. This is a car that connects speed with emotion in a way very few Ferraris ever managed. Even today, it's remembered as one of the last truly analog Ferrari driving experiences. Number 1. 1992 Dodge Viper RT10. In the early 1990s, most manufacturers were focused on refinement, more electronics, more traction systems, more comfort. Cars were becoming easier, safer, more predictable. Then Dodge showed up and did the exact opposite. The Viper RT10 was basically a warning label on 4 wheels. Under that massive hood sits an 8.0-liter V10 producing around 400 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. But the real story isn't power. It's the complete lack of assistance. No traction control, no ABS, no electronic safety nets. Early models didn't even have proper side windows or external door handles. This wasn't built to protect you, it was built to challenge you. With its endless hood, huge air intakes, and low aggressive stance, the Viper looked like a race car that somehow escaped onto public roads. People couldn't help but stare. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds, but that number doesn't tell the full story. Every launch demands full attention. This is not a forgiving car. It reacts exactly to what you do, nothing more.